Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. How are you doing today? Welcome to the Joy Temple program on Hutt Radio, your voice in the valley. My name is Jenny. I love being with you each Saturday to help kick off your weekend. And we are live on iHeart Radio. And you can listen to us anywhere you are across the world. How fantastic is that we're not limited by just having to be in our car waiting for the radio station to kick in or at home. We can listen in anywhere. It's fantastic. So hello from wherever you may be today. How has your week been? You got anything exciting and fun happening this weekend? After today's show, I'm off to catch up with next week's guest. And her name is Angela, and she is a psychic. Now, I don't know what we'll be talking about next week, but I feel that maybe she will know. I'll find out when I go and meet her today. So I'm looking forward to sharing more on that with my socials this week. And my socials are TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and it's just called The Joy Temple. Very easy to find. So I'll be looking forward to having her coming in next week. Now, it's just gone 9 o'clock. Let's have a look at the weather for today, shall we? Well, let's have a look at the weather for the whole weekend. It is looking pretty cloudy outside. Today, the 25th of May, we're heading for a top of 14 degrees with a low of 7 overnight. It currently feels like 7 degrees. There is cloud and areas of morning fog clearing to fine this afternoon. Northwesterlies are developing this morning, becoming fresh in exposed places from this afternoon. And tomorrow is only going to be 12 degrees with a low of 5, so that is quite chilly. And it will be fine, but becoming cloudy late with westerlies easing in the morning. So there we go. That's our weather for the weekend. I hope it's not going to affect anything that you've got planned today. Apart from going to catch up with the guest for next week, I'm also going to be running a mandala class tomorrow. And as I share, often on my radio, I just love doing these classes because doing this kind of painting is for me such a relaxing and mindful experience. I just get joy from, doing this dot art painting. It's really fun. Now, coming up on the show today, my guest is Maggie Tu. And Maggie is a local Hutt girl, born and bred here in the Hutt, and she has written a book called Making Maths Add Up. Now, writing a book is hard at the best of times, but Maggie wrote her book while she was recovering from a life-changing accident, and she will be joining me later this morning to share her story. How about we have some music? This next song the first song I'm going to play on my show today is one that I've been hearing on TikTok quite a bit, and it is called Back on 74 by Jungle.
Give it up for Sister Realness.
Where did
Welcome back to the Joy Temple program. Thank you for listening in today. I really do appreciate that you listen in on the weekend, and so do our other presenters. We're very lucky to have a few amazing people who've put their hand up to volunteer here in the studio and bring us a show each week. And everybody who does our volunteering shows, they all work full-time jobs, including myself. So it's really nice to be doing something to be giving back to the community. And I'll let you know what other shows we have coming up during the week. After my show today, we will have Light in the Valley, which is a Christian show with news and happenings from the Philippines. On Sunday, we have from 11 till 1 p.m, the Fresh Brew Show with Ted Bagley. And Ted invites local artists into the studio to talk about their music and what's happening in the art scene. It's a very cool show. On Tuesdays, we have Andrew Hardwick with his Change Habits and Thrive program. And Andrew is a hypnotist, and he will discuss a different topic each week to help you with your habits that you might want to change. And he also brings a guest in, I think, once a month to talk about a different topic as well. And then on Wednesday, we have DJ Do-Up Ryan, and he brings us the Liquid Lunch. And Ryan brings in his turntable and his records, and he spins vinyl, he does vinyl chat, and he does music venue promos. So how good is that? So we're a very quirky little studio. It's lovely here. And, you know, the studio is always looking out for people who might want to have their own show. And if you have something that you feel would be great to offer back to the community on the radio, get in touch with the station. They'd love to hear from you. Now, it's time for one of my favourite parts of my show, and I'm going to do this in probably a couple of bits today. And this is the What Days Are We Celebrating? Because every day of the year, there seems to be one or more fantastic, event or celebration of something happening that could be quirky, it could be really practical, it could be weird and wonderful. And today, if you are a geek, it is your special day because it is Geek Day, Geek Pride Day. What is a geek? You might be a geek if you are intelligent, but not fashionable or popular, according to my research. Or you might have an excessive enthusiasm for a specialised activity or subject. Geeks all share one thing, regardless of their chosen liking. They share passion. Ain't that the truth? Now, I am going to play another song now. And this is a pretty cool song for a Saturday morning. And it is, let me just cue it up. This is a roller skating jam by De La Soul from the early 90s. And following that, I'm also going to play another 90s song, Freedom by George Michael. Enjoy.
Meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt back to his boy. Erection brings bad boy joy. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, nothing black fat. Girl calls boy to send him up on Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday.
Back once more with the wall up in the store. Smash about a riff, should I make you rock your hip? Revival of the roller boogie in a ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. Diving from a piece of metal, should I yo, slip your butt to the bricks of this mix. Toss that briefcase, it's time to let loose, cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, get the funky output.
5 days you work, 1 whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate low fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, Luke just walked in.
Is there a red on stage?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With a yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all. And let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feed on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is golden thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. It's a Saturday.
Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
is your captain speaking. We're about to embark on takeoff. Shipwreck Sunday with me, Captain Fistus McBoyle, and the old mate, Chalky the Cat. Fasten your seatbelt. Could be a bumpy ride. In a good way, of course. Up radio. Here we go.
Shipwreck Sunday. Sunday mornings for the kids from 9 a.m. Right here.
Hutt Radio.
Radio, music, podcasts, all in one app and all free. Download the iHeartRadio app today. iHeartRadio.
Hello there. Welcome back to the Joy Temple program. My name is Janie. I'm here with you till 11 o'clock today. And it's still looking a bit grey outside, but, you know, let's get hopeful that the weather's going to turn around later on today. Now, I talked a bit before about my favourite part of my show, the what national day it is. And I'm just going to divert from that. I do have some more to share on that, but I want to divert for that a moment because do you have a memorable dance from maybe your clubbing days? My clubbing days started in the 80s and there was a song that always got everyone on the dance floor. It was the Nutbush City Limits by Ike and Tina Turner, which came out in 1973. And every morning I do a little dance and post it on my social media. It gives me the energy that I need for the day. It brings me joy and it brings other people joy when they watch my little 1 minute dance every day. Now in Australia, we did a certain dance and I've posted it on my socials today. And it was the Nutbush dance. And for some reason, I thought it was a global dance, but seems it was invented in Australia. I had no idea. And apparently there were similarities to what was the backup dancers in the clip. It was similar to what they were doing in the film clip for the original song. But a study this year has found that this particular dance was actually started by the New South Wales Department of Education back, I think, in the 70s. We had to do dancing at school. I remember having to go out into the playground and do dancing at certain times of the day. And so they've traced back the origins of this particular dance for Nutbush City Limits to New South Wales. And it was part of the school curriculum. How hilarious is that? And it was only today that I realised that that was the case. I thought it was a dance that everybody did all across the world, but apparently not. So if you feel like having a little dance to this fantastic song, Nutbush City Limits, I'm going to play it for you right now. And you know what? You can just get on up and dance. If you know the dance.
A church house, gin house, schoolhouse, outhouse, on highway number 19. The people keep the city clean. They call it Nutbush.
Wow, did that bring back some memories? I hadn't actually really thought about that song for a very long time because it was one of those songs where I would really love it when I used to go out clubbing and dancing, and then I kind of went, I'm not really into that anymore. But for some reason, it just came to my mind last night and I knew I had to talk about it on the radio. So I really am curious, is it a song that was developed in Australia? According to Wikipedia, it is, but I'm curious to know. I really did believe it was a global song that everybody danced to like that. And you can check it out on my socials today. It is on my Instagram. It will be on my TikTok later where I'm doing a little bit of the Nutbush City Limits dance. It's 9:27. You're on the Joy Temple program. My name is Janie and I'm really excited that Maggie has arrived in the studio. She's very impressed with what we've got happening here. And it is a cute little studio. We're at 215 High Street. And we are right in the building where Cafe Soleil is. They're one of our great sponsors. And also Neko Neru Cat Cafe. We're all in the same building. And if you wander by, if you see the curtain up, you might see somebody inside doing a show like I am today. And don't forget, you can listen in on iHeartRadio from wherever you are, which is really, really fantastic. And do you know what? It's 9:28 a.m. Maggie's here, and I think we should get into our show today. So I'm going to pop Maggie's microphone on, and I'll introduce Maggie, and we will get talking to Maggie about her amazing journey to writing her book called Making Maths Add Up. Morning, Maggie.
Aloha.
Aloha to you. How you going, Maggie?
Good. Yeah. I'm a bit, you know how no one likes the sound of their own voice? I'm just thinking back to when I listen back to this and go, oh my goodness, my voice.
You have a beautiful voice and you have a beautiful laugh, Maggie. So I think you'll enjoy listening back and just give yourself a bit more of a hype up.
Oh, thank you.
I hope you'll give yourself a bit of a hype up. So Maggie has joined me today to talk about quite a few things I think we'll discuss today. And I'm often looking for guests to come on my radio show, and I am a regular visitor to the Trade School Kitchen in Nainai. It's a great cafe. If you haven't been there, it's really fantastic. And it was actually one of my concerns about moving from the city out to Nainai was that where would I get good coffee? I have my own coffee machine, but the Trade School Kitchen is where I go as my regular. And someone introduced me to Maggie one day, and I kind of didn't understand at the time, Maggie, why this mutual friend of ours, Murray, who is also a regular at the coffee shop, was rushing you over to meet me. And it was like, he just wants to introduce me to someone that he knew. But it turns out that Maggie has an incredible story, and which she will share today. And when I met Maggie this week to talk about our show, there was a few things that kind of came up, when I was thinking about this afterwards. Maggie is inspirational, motivational, joyous, and I think probably understands the art of acceptance. And I wish you could see Maggie right now because she is just bringing all that to the studio.
I'm so flattered. Thank you.
Well, got to be honest and authentic, Maggie. So how are you doing today?
I am good. I'm not good at answering that question. I'm good. Woke up and I was like, wow, radio time.
Yeah, radio time.
Yeah.
And when Maggie walked into the studio, she's like, yeah, this is pretty cool. And it is pretty cool to come in and talk to people about your story. And one of the things I love to do is share people's stories because I believe that we often don't understand something that might be going on in people's lives, and we don't understand that something can impact somebody so harshly. Let's call it harshly. That's the only word that comes to me. But something can impact somebody that brings them what I call a tragedy to triumph, where you might have something really awful happen, but there's a turning point where that moment then takes you in a new direction in your life. And I feel that is what happened to you when you had your accident. Would you like to tell us about what happened to you, Maggie?
Okay, so it's actually only very recently that I've been able to reframe the whole thing as a tragedy to triumph, because it didn't feel like very much of a triumph over like the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. A fun, so backstory being, I actually cannot remember exactly how long it's been because a side effect of what has happened, a head injury. I fell off a skateboard and fractured my skull, bled all over the Hutt riverbank and had a seizure, then passed out for 40 minutes. And it was, that was when I was in the middle of studying at uni. And it was very interesting because up until then, I'd sort of lived with the very youth mindset of I'm invincible and, you know, like I'm out here to like live my life. And so that's why I wasn't very careful because I was on a very small plastic penny board wearing huge clunky Doc Marten boots with no helmet on. And I still remember it was such a windy day and I had not planned to go skateboarding. And I was hanging out with this guy that I had a crush on and I was like, just stay here to have a good time. And it was so windy. I did not need to kick at all. I was just on the penny board. Yeah. And I had my jacket out like a sail, like a boat with a sail just going whoosh in the wind. And I was going so fast that I could feel the speed wobbles. So I thought I better jump off before I hurt myself. But in the process of jumping off, so I don't hurt myself, I go splat. And then that I don't remember anything in between other than waking up for a few seconds and I could hear my friend on the phone to the ambulance and then I passed out again. And then I woke up in the ambulance and I remember the paramedics asking me all these questions like, what's your name? What's your name? Who do you live with? What day of the week is it? And I just remember going like, I think it's Sunday. And
was it Sunday?
It was a Sunday and it passed out again. And then the next memory was, in the hospital. I was being rolled around on one of the beds and I remember seeing myself reflected in those mirrors that they use so you can see around the corner. And I felt like I was in Shortland Street or like, you know, this hospital like dramas on TV. I was like, because, you know, I was lying there was blood and I was just like, whoa.
You were like starring in your own movie, but it was real. Oh my goodness, Maggie. So Maggie shared part of this story with me when we caught up this week before she came on the show. And I was just like, oh my goodness, that is wild. Like to think that happens is so wild. And, you know, you've talked now, when I talked about it being tragedy to triumph and you didn't kind of feel like it was that at the time, do you think that's an accurate kind of assessment now that you have been able to get your life back on track and move forward, you know, in certain ways?
Yeah. I think I'm definitely crawling back. Crawling back to just being happily integrated into society, I guess, because I was in denial very much for this. So after I fell, I feel like it's easier to explain in like following the story form.
Yeah.
So it was the 3 day, I slept for 3 days after I came back from the hospital.
How long were you in hospital for?
Oh, like only the afternoon / evening. So they discharged me pretty quickly. They said, they scanned my brain, said I was okay, but I did have a concussion and that the skull would heal.
Because there's a concussion rating, isn't there? Like they may, I know like my husband had a mild concussion recently. He was hit in the head with a cricket ball and when I took him to the hospital, they do an assessment rating. Like they ask you lots of questions. You know, have you had a fall? Have you had something like this happen before? And then they rate it and give you a score. But so this is 2 years ago this happened, but you're still feeling the effects of the concussion.
I don't remember being given a rating. They just told me that
a 10 out of 10.
It's quite interesting because I went home and then I slept for 3 days straight. And then I woke up and I thought I was fine, or I didn't think I was fine, but it's quite sad actually. I found a video about a year ago where the day I woke up, I think there was no one around and so I needed to like cook. So I got up and I cooked myself lunch And I was so proud of myself. I took out my phone and videoed it with my eyes closed because I'd been told very, very strictly, no screens, no thinking. I was like, how do I not think?
Yeah.
But then I got so bored. So many mistakes that in hindsight, like if I was to do this again, I think I would have healed much faster because there were little things that I thought would be okay, but were not. Like I got so restless and bored because being told not to think, for as long as you can.
That's all our brain does. It thinks, it overthinks, it underthinks, it thinks.
Well, it's sort of like when you're told not to do something, then you want to do it more. Or also, I was just bored. I just wanted something to do. So I thought I'm going to knit blankets for like the animals at the SPCA.
Yeah.
But then I forgot how to do it. And so I got so frustrated. I went and searched it up on YouTube, but that was a terrible idea because that was when it kind of hit me how badly I had been affected because I could not stand even 5 seconds being on my phone. Like it made me, I can't even describe it using words. I don't think words exist for that feeling. It was like nausea, but on a whole nother level. It was just like my brain thought, oh dear, I must implode now.
Yeah.
Like it just went poof, and I was like, oh my God. And then I just felt like I wanted to pass out and vomit for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to just talk about something that happened to me a couple of years ago. And, I have shared this on the radio before, and certainly my close circle of people around me know what happened. But in April 2022, I was rushed to the hospital by my doctor. She told me to rush to the hospital because they discovered that I had fluid around my heart and in my lung and behind my lung. We still to this day don't really know why that occurred, but I understand it had been brewing for quite a long time. So it was a medical emergency for me that required an immediate, intervention.
Drainage kind of thing.
So I had a really hard surgery, and it took a good 9 months to recover. I was off work for months. I think I could only go back to work part-time probably. I think it was 7 weeks I was off work. I went back to work part-time and then couldn't continue on working. I took some more time off, and the doctor said I should have probably had like 6 months off. And I think what I am leading to here is that I've given Maggie a book today, which is a journal that I've made with dot art mandala on it. And dot art mandala is something I talked about earlier on the show about how much I love doing dot art mandala. And I just remember, in the midst of this early recovery, I thought I'm going to go and try and do dot art mandala again. And that same thing, Maggie, I couldn't, I put my head down and I would feel sick and nausea. It was just awful. So I really relate to that kind of
post-injury, like realization, like that clarity kind of hits you. You're like, gee.
Yeah, and I thought, my God, am I ever going to be able to do these things I love again?
I feel that. Yeah.
Hard, hey.
Yeah.
And so you're 20. You were 20 at the time, so you're 22 now.
Yeah.
And you talk about youth, the power of youth.
Yeah,
and I think
it's that spirit.
But I think you've still got the spirit. I can see the spirit. Definitely see that.
Oh, thank you.
But I think maybe the spirit just has had a little bit of bubble wrap around it maybe at the minute.
I feel like it was sort of like in Kung Fu Panda, there's like that vase, like I don't know if you know. there's like a old ancient heritage vase, and inside it's like the souls of the something or others, right? So I feel like my youth spirit was sort of like inside, its little container of my body. And then what happened after I fell is that vase broke. So then that like soul, that spark just didn't have the container that it needed.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of just like all over the place without like a home.
Yeah.
And it's been the process of slowly repairing that vase and just getting that space to hold that again.
Yeah. And that kind of leads to, I guess, that sense of probably loss and grieving. We do grieve
very much.
Yeah, and I had someone on the show recently talking about grief, and grief is not just about the loss of someone who may pass away from your life. Grief can be a loss of a job or a loss of identity or a loss of anything can cause grief. So there would be a lot of things for you to have to deal with, you know, acceptance as well. You know, what is my life looking like now? What does my future look like? Because this is a life-changing event for you. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you want to play a song, Maggie?
Can do.
Let's play a song.
Okay.
Now, Maggie has given me the list of like really, really cool music. She refrained from giving the explicit song.
Just keep it PG-13,
She's
right?
keeping it PG. Do you like a lot of explicit music, Maggie?
Well, it's just unfortunate, you know, because like music, I feel like we often listen to music that sort of balances us out. And as someone who I think cares very deeply about many things, it can be sometimes to my detriment. And so, unfortunately, a lot of the like, I don't care music has a lot of swearing, has a lot of like certain words that I'm not allowed to say. Yeah. So, but I think I listen to them because I like just that, like, just don't need to care for a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels very,
it's a bit of an escape,
liberating.
Yeah. And music is beautiful like that. You know, with my husband being away at present, I find I'm playing a lot more music at home and just letting that just be the, you know, the essence of, you know, my home at present, and I really love it. And it's funny because I used to play music all the time at home, and for some reason I kind of got out of the habit of it and just kind of had the TV on the background. But music is just so beautiful, regardless of, I guess, maybe some styles can be a bit hard on the ears, but, you know, there's something for everybody in the music world, that's for sure. It's 9:43 a.m. You're on the Joy Temple program. My name is Jenny, and I'm here with Maggie Tu. She's my guest today. So, Maggie, out of all these amazing songs that you've given me to choose from,
yes,
do you have, like, a preference of what you'd like to play? And, you know, Maggie's here to talk to us about joy and play some of her favourite songs and tell us why, you know, some of these songs really are special for her.
I feel like Cotton Candy would probably fit the vibe well. Right,
Cotton
for this
Candy.
moment. Yeah.
So tell me about this song, why this is really special for you. Does it have a lot of meaning for you? Or do you feel like you are cotton candy?
Not even. I don't think about music. I don't like think about it with my mind that much. I kind of just listen and then I go off how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
And I think Cotton Candy is just one of the songs that I put on. I'm just like, yay. It's sort of like, I guess the feeling of like, right, a day of work has been done. It is time to go out and just vibe and jam. And it's like, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the name of this band, like, what? What do we call this?
I don't even know.
It's got a Y, it's got a dollar
sign.
It's got a O, Y-S-O, why $O? I don't really know.
I feel bad. I should know, but I just like
Maybe
the
the
song.
people who wrote the song don't even know what their name, how to pronounce their own band. But let's just say we're just going to play Cotton Candy. Here it is.
よく聞けよみんな。やっぱこのままじゃどう見てもこのゆるキャラの仕事を続けたらみんながニットになってしまうのはもう不可避だ。その前、俺らが愛する人たちと一緒に時間を過ごすべきだ。
さすが社長さんですね。自分の彼女の話ですけど月のように綺麗ですし顔を見たら心は風のように揺れますね。なんか高いトイレットペーパーみたいですけどまあ僕の仕事大嫌いですけど
この間21歳になったジャーナと申します意見をお伝えさせていただきますが今まで話し合ったことは全部同意でございます私の愛は熱気球のようにお膨らましますどうもありがとうございました
Somebody home, is there another option? I've been waiting by the front door
my style, stuff like that.
But your touch feel like tequila sunrise. I don't ever get enough, I'm liking that air.
Not a real one, like kinda.
Sweet perfume off the fumes, I'm so high. Where can we go when nobody is watching? Somebody home, is there another option? I'll be waiting by the front door. Till then I got this feeling. Sweet and soft like cotton candy. Ain't no loss, just understanding. Baby, it don't stop. Shout it from rooftop. Hold it on. Your loving is sweet and soft like cotton candy.
Don't know, now you know. Left my bravado by the front door with the coats. She said I need to open up. I said, how so? She said, well, how you feel about me? Oh, well, you know. Marshmallows, ice cream, my sweet, sweet addiction. Tequila sunrise, get my fix Twix. She kisses, sipping through the Milky Way. Sipping on vanilla shakes. Other girls are sugar free, but baby, you're my sweet escape.
Sweet and soft like cotton candy. Ain't no loss, just understanding. Baby, it don't stop. Shout it from rooftops. Holding on. Your loving is sweet and soft like cotton candy.
That was Cotton Candy for Maggie today, who's my lovely guest in the studio. It's 9:50 a.m. It is currently, let's have a look at what the weather is doing. It says it is about 8 degrees now, heading to a top of 14. Won't that be nice? And we've got a little bit of fog. No, that's a little bit of fog today. Yes. Or is that tomorrow? See, you never quite know on live radio. It is today. We've got a little bit of fog clearing this morning, and it'll be fine this afternoon with northwesterlies and becoming fresh in exposed places later today. So welcome back, Maggie. Thanks for that cute song. Now, Maggie, what were you studying at university before your accident?
Psychology and Chinese, but mostly psychology. Yeah.
And was psychology something that you always felt was where you wanted your, I guess, future career or vocation to be?
Oh, good question. I think my interest in psychology, funnily, it's a bit embarrassing, but also kind of funny.
There's only us here, Maggie. You can tell me.
No, I totally only got into psychology when I was quite young. So 13, 14, I would binge watch TED Talks on YouTube, right? Because I wanted to know how to manipulate people and or not be manipulated myself. Yeah. So that was the initial interest. I was like, ooh, if I do this, then I can make this person do this because I want them to, or how do I sneakily, sort of just nudge them towards doing this. And
it's called influencing.
Yeah,
Maggie.
but there's I think it all depends on the intent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my poor sister was my my guinea pig that I practiced on, and just like the classic, it says gullible on the ceiling, those kind of things. That's how it started. That's how it started.
Oh,
yeah,
cheeky.
But then I suppose, what happened? So, fun fact, side effect of the concussion is that it just takes me a really long time to remember things from, I call it my medium-term memory, even though that's not the psychological sort of agreed upon term. But I sort of think of short-term memory for me is what I did earlier today. And then medium-term is sort of in between that and 5 years ago. All of that area is really blurry. So trying to remember, what did I do after that? I think I just genuinely wanted to manipulate people, and then I just sort of became really interested in that. And then it was, and then I kind of got sucked into the world of entrepreneurship, like the Lewis Howes, Howies, I don't know how to pronounce his name properly.
Lewis Howes.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. And like, you know, Tim Ferriss? I can't remember. I'm so bad with names. You know, 4-hour work week. I was like, yes, I shall be successful and financially independent. And then I was like, I shall manipulate people into buying my things in order to achieve this. Yeah.
I love Lewis Howes, actually. He, do you know much about his back kind of story?
Because I probably have looked into it, but I cannot remember. So do refresh me.
So Lewis Howes is now, I guess, a motivational speaker, and you know, he's like Tony Robbins, right? Is the god, the guru of
I remember
motivation,
watching him
right?
as well. Yeah,
and then there's a lot of other people who've kind of come on who are doing great work in that space, and Lewis Howes is one of them. And he was a footballer. And he had, I think he had a knee injury, and he was unable to continue on with his love of sport. And I guess he ended up in a really kind of dire situation where he was living on his sister's couch for a long period of time. And from my understanding, he decided that he needed to do something, I guess, to shape his life up. And he began contacting people like other motivational people to get their stories of their success. And so he started to build those stories of success into what, you know, has been his growth and his business. And he's really remarkable. And I really like Lewis Howes. He's great. He's got a great podcast as well. If anybody's interested in hearing some of his guests, he has fascinating guests as well. So Maggie, psychology degree was underway. You were about, 2 years into that?
I was exactly halfway through, so 1.5 years, yeah.
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 And did you feel that you were enjoying the degree? Like, do you think it was leading you to that place where you could be like the master manipulator?
Oh, funnily enough, no.
No, because it's probably very real and not very like what a master manipulator would be doing.
To be honest, I think I learned more through YouTube than I did in the form of like practicality than at university, because university is very academic based.
Theoretical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very theoretical. Yeah. And then I guess the question I was sort of always asking myself was, okay, so you found this like significant like difference, right? But like, what can we do about it? And it was kind of like, further research is needed. It's like always further research is needed. And I understand the need for that, right? Because obviously you need a lot of evidence to support a statement. But I think what I personally prefer is to study systems rather than sort of like compartmentalizing like this aspect of like human thinking and this aspect of cognition and then this aspect of memory. It's like studied so separately, whereas I feel like also, like, from my math background, like, everything to me is so intertwined that to separate them, you lose so much function and then beauty, because it makes so much sense. Like, the simplicity of it, I feel, is what makes it so beautiful. And when I was at uni, I just thought, this is making things a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah.
But that's the thing, to get to that point where you can probably start to have that intuitive sense of helping others, you know, let's call it that way. You need to have that practical, theoretical background. And, you know, some of my work I do outside of my real job, I mentor women, and I love doing that. And mentoring is an experience-based facilitation to help people, you know, with a short-term problem or help them to achieve a goal. And I actually had someone just recently send me a whole lot of really awful messages on my social media telling me that I'm not qualified to be a mentor, that, you know, I shouldn't be counselling people or offering therapy. And actually I'm not doing any of those things because I'm not qualified to do those things. So I think, you know, some of us have that ability to just organically be able to help people through our own experiences, which I think is what you are now turning to do from your experiences. But yeah, some jobs and roles need to have that theoretical background to it. Now, during your recovery, how long, so you've written a book called Making Maths Add Up, which we're going to talk about today. But when you had your accident, like what what were you eventually able to start doing to fulfill, your time during the day? Like you said, you had to stay off screens, you stayed off YouTube. So what could you actually do to support your recovery and healing?
Oh, good question. My brain has almost blocked out like the early days, so I'm not sure if I can fully answer that. I just remember, I think, out of frustration at feeling so lost and useless was, definitely how I felt. I felt very useless. So then I sort of just fired on my laptop and I was like, right, I'm going to just like see what I can do. Oh, I don't think I even, it's coming back. I didn't even use my laptop. I think I just got out a notebook and I just started scribbling like in a scrapbook what I would write. Yeah, because I think I was frustrated because I really missed teaching.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay,
what were you
if I
teaching?
can't, math. I've been teaching math. I was a math tutor at Numberworks and Words. It's like literally across the road from us right now. Yeah, that was my favorite job. Like, I love that job so much. And then I did private tutoring as a side hustle when I was at university. And so then when I fell, that was the first time in my life that I'd stopped working since I was 15. I'd like worked at some points, like 2 or 3 jobs when like I was in high school. And so just having nothing to do, I was like, I cannot handle this. Which is definitely a mark of my hyperproductivity, which I do acknowledge was not healthy at the time. So it has been a bit of a blessing learning to chill out and slow down, although I was very much forced to, but I think it's a lesson that I needed to learn. But yeah, I think I just got out my notebook and I thought, okay, if I can't teach them in real life right now, at least I can still teach through making something that I can give to them. I didn't intend to really make it as a book to sell. It was more just like, okay, what about if I just write a book so that I can reference like these diagrams, these pictures while I teach. But then as it went on, I thought, oh, actually, this would be a pretty good book to, give to other people if they wanted to. Yeah, so they could have it with them and sort of like learn in their own time as well.
So was writing a book something that you ever had in your kind of like, did you have a life plan of things that you want to do? Like I have a list of things that I want to do, right? I want to do, and I look at this list all the time and I tick off those achievements as they happen. But did you have a list of kind of things that in my life I want to write a book or I want to, ride a skateboard?
I guess loosely I did, but writing a book, it was never a math book. When I was 10, I wanted to publish a book. I was going to self-publish a book. It was called The Friendship Bracelet, and I still have. My friend still has the Word document.
It's kind of topical now, though, isn't it?
It was like in my head, I imagined to be like this really like cutesy, like it's going to have a pink cover and like a silver charm bracelet on the cover. And it was like, like very much like 12-year-old little girl writing stories. And I wanted to get that published, but it was too expensive. And so we never did. And I am so thankful.
Really? I can't believe that. I reckon
I would be mortified.
There would be so many young girls who would love that book because, one of the things around Taylor Swift has, just been doing all her big things. And aren't the friendship bracelets all the thing? Aren't they like that? You're ahead of your time, Maggie.
Man, no, like, I don't know if I could face myself. Like, 10-year-old Maggie, 10-year-old Maggie, what were you thinking?
Oh, but
it's just funny now because now that I have published a book, I'm like, if I wrote another book, I could very much, just like look at getting it published. And now that the option is here, which is something that childhood me dreamed of, like being able to publish books. Now I'm like, this can just stay like tucked away in my wardrobe in my little notebook for my eyes only.
Oh, that's really cute. And some people often talk about finding their purpose and passion, and I think it's a very real thing. And I think purpose changes from day to day, whatever, we often have something we're doing today that we love and enjoy, but that doesn't mean we have to keep on doing it. And one of the questions that I always ask people, well, what is it you love to do when you were younger? When people are kind of searching for that thing within themselves that ignites their fire. And for me, when I was younger, I loved designing clothes for my, dolls. And as it turns out, I ended up being a fashion designer and work in styling and do fashion parades and things like that. So do you feel now that now that I've posed that question, if you were to look back to 10 or 8-year-old Maggie who was thinking about writing a book, it's almost like maybe that is something that could be a really open pathway for you into the future?
Yeah, I guess so. But I think at the moment, because screens are like preferably not sort of thing for me, I think actually after I finish my next book, I might take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are screens not for you because of the impact,
because of
or
the
because you
concussion?
hate the whole just being on the screen?
I mean, I don't really like screens to begin with. Didn't like screens to begin with, but now I really feel it. I'd much rather be outside in sunlight. Sunlight versus blue light. I can tell when I walk into a room if the lighting is LED. It's pretty crazy. It's like the most inconvenient superpower.
So before your fall, was screen time something that was really a big part of your life?
Hugely, hugely,
Mm.
yeah. I remember I could sit down at a desk like 8 hours. I'd have my lunch there and I wouldn't even really get up to eat. I just eat while I was studying. Yeah, and that really it was so unconscious. It was like all I knew. But thinking back, I'm like, I don't know how I did it.
Yeah.
But
because, in my growing up, when I went to school back in the 70s and 80s, we didn't have technology like this. We had no computers. We had no mobile phones. We were, no.
Imagine that, eh? Like, probably most kids these days just wouldn't be able to fathom it.
And there is I think there was a whole book written recently about the impact of screen time on children and what their future is and how they're missing out on seeing what is around them.
Very much
I find that
agree.
really, really a strange thing because I have grown up in the time of no screens, 4 TV stations, right? That was it. We didn't have Netflix. We didn't have YouTube. We had none of that. And it was just, you had to go and make your own fun. And I sometimes find myself getting sucked into screen time. It's like, no, because I can feel what it's doing to my brain and I can see what I'm missing out on and wasting my time on. So it's it's a real challenge, the whole screen time. So for you, I think that's kind of a plus that that
in some ways, definitely.
Yeah, not having to deal with that. Hey, would you like to play another song?
Yeah, sounds good.
What have we got on our list now, Maggie?
Oh.
I just love the songs she sent in today.
Oh, thank you. Let's see. Oh, let's go. Let's go Brown Love.
Okay. Let's find that. I've got that here ready to... yes, I have got it here. Brown Love by Ado.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're on the Joy Temple program. It's just gone 6 minutes past 10 on Saturday, the 25th of May. My beautiful guest is Maggie, and this is her next song. Why do you like this song, Maggie?
It's so soulful. I listen to it and I'm just like, yes.
I feel
it's like sexy, but like, yeah.
I feel like, Maggie, you have this beautiful wisdom about you. Do you think that the wisdom has always been in there? Like, I've only known you for, a couple of weeks, but do you feel like there's always been this kind of wisdom or old worldly, knowledgeable sense about yourself?
Oh, I think it very much comes from, there's that quote, like, a tree's branches can only reach to heaven if its roots grow down to hell. I think it's very much that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, I do like that quote.
I love that. Do you know who that's by at all?
I don't. No.
God.
just the
devil.
truth of life, I guess. But it must be attributed to someone. I'm not sure who it is.
Wow, that's really beautiful. I'm going to find that and put that back into one of my little books of motivational stuff because it's a fantastic book.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Brown Love by Ado.
Said I'll be lying if I told you I've had enough of you. Contradictions is only one cup away. Oh no, no, no. Don't you go missing, no, I'm not too fun to chase. My drinks strong like my woman, ambitions get blown away. Oh no, no, no. See, heaven must have sent you help and trying to get this clear out of my face. Send me that brown love, till my body weak. Feel free to spill all of your love on these leather seats. I just wanna be yours. Do what you do me and more. If it ain't you, me no more. I'm doing it for you. I can't control what I do. Fill every glass to the moon. Another place. Tell me now, when we're in town, did I drink all the shit? Who I am now, I don't remember me. Is you gon' leave me how you try, darling? Check the case. Woke up to the ones at my door, fuck the police. And WA. Got another bottle and some cigarettes for me. Don't forget to bring a little medicine. I'm waiting for you, still waiting for you. I've been ready for some time. See, heaven must have sent you help and trying to get this clear out of my face. Send me that brown love, till my body weak. Feel free to spill all of your love on these leather seats. I just wanna be yours. Do what you do me and more. If it ain't you, me no more. I'm doing it for you. I can't control what I do. Fill every glass to the moon. If I ever tell you, baby, leave, they simply say no. You never changed on me. You kept it A1, that's why I love you so. That's why I love you so. See, heaven must have sent you help and trying to get this clear out of my face. Send me that brown love, till my body weak. Feel free to spill all of your love on these leather seats. I just wanna be yours. Do what you do me and more. If it ain't you, me no more. I'm doing it for you. I can't control what I do. Fill every glass to the moon. And send me that brown love, till my body weak. Feel free to spill all of your love on your leather seats. I just wanna be yours. Do what you do me and more. If it ain't you, me no more. I'm doing it for you. I can't control what I do. Fill every glass to the moon. Another place.
Welcome back to the Joy Temple program. That was Brown Love by Ado. That's a song from my beautiful guest, Maggie. And if you just tuned in, Maggie has joined me in the studio today. Maggie fell off her skateboard a couple of years ago and received a head injury, which has had a life-changing effect for her. And we're talking about that today. And we're going to talk about her beautiful book that she's written shortly called Making Maths Add Up. And Maggie, we were talking about, your journey here from your accident. How do you feel your day? Or like we were talking about how you were feeling your day. You couldn't do screen time. I don't think we kind of, talked about finished talking about how your recovery was and what you could and couldn't do, during that time leading up to writing your book.
It's honestly very blurry, which is probably why. I guess I can't remember. Yeah. So that doesn't make for a very interesting conversation. No.
Okay, well, let's change the subject.
Sorry, I genuinely cannot remember. I just all I remember is being able to spend like small blocks of time writing the book, and then that's sort of it.
Yeah. But even now, you still are affected by that because when we met the other day, you talked about needing to still take rest breaks through the day to kind of help you recharge. And, and sleeping and resting is really good, not only for our overall health, but obviously our brain health. Do you do meditation or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been very much something that it's like if I don't do it, I will learn the hard way that it was a good idea and you should definitely do it next time.
Yeah. But then through your recovery, did you have like a support team of people that were like helping you? What was the kind of resources that you were able to tap into?
Oh, I have stories.
Any would you like to share?
So it was hard because when I first fell, I was referred to some local places. One of them had an occupational therapist and the other was like a physio, supposedly. Well, he was a physio, I don't say supposedly, but like...
Did he have a university degree?
I mean, he was obviously qualified, but so I remember going to the sessions, the occupational therapist, and the guy, he was like a robot, like a really cold clinical robot. And he kept asking me all these questions and like my brain did not want to be there. It was indoors, so it must have been the lights that had got me. But at the time I wasn't aware of how strongly lights affected me. Yeah. And like he kept asking me these questions and I just wanted to burst into tears. But because he was so like just inhuman, like I didn't want to, like show emotion.
It was AI.
Oh my God, it still scares me. Like I just remember being so like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be here. And then it got to the point where I just like, I think I did end up bursting into tears because he was asking me questions like, are you eating? Are you sleeping? Like all those. And I was not eating, but I think that was also because my living environment at that time was quite stressful. And he was like, I was like, oh, I'm having trouble eating. And he's like, well, you should eat. And I'm like, well, I know that. And then he was
I haven't forgotten that.
And then it was sort of like, okay. And then I just remember he told me to eat more protein at nighttime because it would help me sleep. And I was like, okay. And then he said, yeah, like more protein, like fruit. And I thought, fruit's not protein. That's not right. I'm pretty sure that's not right. And then I was like, wow, what? And then I think I ended up at some point I burst into tears out of frustration. And then he had to go and get me a glass of water, which was nice of him. And then
the most helpful thing you did.
Yeah, which I'm like glad. And I just remember leaving that appointment in absolute tears. And then I had a huge like cry in the car. And I had to get someone else to pick me up. And I just cried to them for the next 10 minutes. And I was like, I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
And then I went back to the physio that they assigned me a few times, but all they did was do dry cupping, which was like they're these glass cups.
It's like Chinese cupping?
Not even. Chinese cupping, they warm up the air inside. Yeah. Like I have had Chinese cupping and it is different. Like it has more of an effect long term because he would put it on and I just stay there for 20 minutes and it felt good. Like it released some of the tension. But then as soon as I left the appointment, half an hour later, it all came back. And I thought, it takes me so much brain power just to organize getting to the place that the effect, like the benefit to effort ratio kind of isn't really worth it.
Yeah, you don't want quick wins. You want like sustainable.
Exactly. So then silly me sort of assumed that those were the only people that were covered by ACC for me to go see. Yep. So I just closed my case. Like, it was quite was quite an emotional decision that, silly Maggie is kind of the motto of this whole thing. I just couldn't handle thinking about it, and like the thought of having to go back. I was just so done, and I thought, screw this, I'll figure this out on my own. So then I didn't see them again. I closed my case. And then I just sort of struggled on my own for a bit, which was definitely like the toughest time. But then I went and saw a lady because I was going through a whole myriad of other health problems at the time.
Related to the accident?
No. A quick backstory on that. It was just like the holy grail of eczema, asthma, and hay fever, and then like gut issues, the whole digestion.
Oh yeah, we touched on this the other day.
Yeah, that's a whole big ass story. But I was seeing another lady for that because that sort of had developed into a very, very unhealthy relationship with food. And then I was in so much pain all the time. Like I remember I could not breathe properly. Like if I tried to take a deep breath, it would hurt my rib cage so much that tears would come to my eyes. Wow. And I could not move my left arm. It was crazy. So I was in a bit of a panic, and I remember telling her, like, I'm in so much pain, and I think it's to do with the food that I'm eating because I think I'm intolerant to this, or like, and she sort of looked at me and she's like, posture, have a look at posture. And then also, have you gone to an osteo? And I'm like, what's an osteo? And she's like, well, And so then I did. I went and saw an osteo, and I'm so glad that she told me because they did like an assessment, and they said that the side of my face that I fractured my skull on, something had happened and it was drooping, like part of my jaw was drooping and pinching a nerve in my neck, and that was causing like a lot of the weird stuff with my arm and all that. And so they did some cranial adjustments over. Ooh, I just whacked my microphone. I went for a few sessions. It was like weekly to begin with, and then space them out further. And I think it helped.
It helped.
I think, yeah. But it was very gradual. But I do think it did help a lot. Because I'd have dizzy spells where I'd be just walking along a corridor, and then all of a sudden the world would just whee, and I just end up falling against the wall, and it would just sort of come out of nowhere, which was a scary part because there was no warning sign. So I'd be fine 1 second and whee, and so that stopped.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. And I talked to you when we caught up this week about Tiffany Bees, and she was a guest on my show a few weeks ago, and she does orthobionomy, which is a form of osteopathy. But she also does like this spiritual healing, and I went and saw her following the show, and it was really a fascinating experience because she put her hands on my head and like she would just feel different parts of my body, and she put her hands on my head, and I wasn't really paying that much attention, but then I said to her, I'm starting to get this like weird feeling in my ears, and my head's feeling really funny. And she goes, that's because I'm moving all the bones back in your cranium. I'm like, what? And it was such a bizarre experience. And she said, you might feel sore in a couple of days, but I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. But the minute I walked out of that appointment, my whole body ached, and I had to go home.
Wow.
And go to bed.
Wow.
It was like nothing I've ever experienced
Crazy.
before. Yeah.
I have written her name down. I'm very curious. Yeah. But I'd like to check her out.
Did osteopath work give you that pain as well?
It was very soothing. It was like I'd walk out of it and I'd be like,
soothing?
Yeah, no, the whole thing, I'd walk out of it and I'm like, I'm ready for a nap. But like in a good way, because sometimes it's like, I'm exhausted, I need a nap. But this one was like, okay, sleep time.
That's amazing because that was the first time I've ever had a treatment like with an osteopathic kind of person. But honestly, I walked out of there, it's like, I just got to go to bed because I was aching from head to toe. It was the most bizarre.
Yeah.
So bizarre. Now, Maggie, I think we should talk about your book.
About time, yes.
Making Maths Add Up. So you have a love of maths. You've been a maths tutor. Are you still tutoring?
Yeah. Just like a few students. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been great. I've been like easing back into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your book, Making Maths Add Up, it came about through your recovery.
Yes, very much
as a
so.
way, and I read this somewhere, to help you find joy and purpose.
Very much the purpose side. Yep.
Through something you love. And I think, when I had my medical, incident, what I noticed was that work was my foundation of life. Yeah. I had activities I would do, places I'd go, things that I loved, but work was that thing that I knew every day I'd get up and go to work. It was the grounding thing. And that would probably
it's like the
be
scaffolding of your life. Hey?
Be like university for you, right? And once that's taken away, you're kind of like hanging in the breeze, not knowing what to do. So to be able to start to write a book, tell us how that all came about.
Well, I wrote it on PowerPoint because the whole thing is written on PowerPoint because I think I did one Google search of like what you're supposed to write books in, like professional publishing software.
Oh, yeah.
And it was all very expensive. And I thought, nah, screw that.
Yeah.
So I wrote it all on PowerPoint. And then I got most of the way through. So originally it was just going to be one huge, massive book. And then it started getting very, very long. So I thought, okay, I'm going to chop this into 6 separate books. And then I focused on the one book. And then that one started getting very long as well. So I've chopped that into 3. And so the first third of that is the one that is out now.
So it's a trilogy, a maths trilogy?
Yeah, so that one's a trilogy, which is hopefully going to be part of a series. This is going to be a bit of a lifelong endeavor, I think. But one that I'm just pacing myself with and enjoying the process. Yeah. So the first one focuses, the writing journey was interesting because I would teach stuff that I thought was interesting. I love algebra because everyone hates algebra.
I've just got the shudders.
Exactly. I love algebra because everyone hates it until I teach it to them and they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. And it's just the best. I don't think I've had any student who after we've had a few sessions has trouble with algebra. So I think that's why I love it because that's my favorite to teach. And it's so satisfying because you get these horrendously ugly equations, right? And then when you simplify them or when you solve them, you get just x equals 5 and it's just it's so nice.
Satisfying
it's so
for
nice.
you, but it's so traumatic for me, Maggie.
I can understand that. Yeah,
my goodness.
I can understand it because I think part of my the driving force behind this book was I had some great teachers in high school, and then also some less than great, shall we say?
Yeah.
And the frustration, right, of just staring at the textbook and being like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
And then you even you go check the answers, but the answers only has the answer. And then you try and reverse engineer, okay, so if the answer is 13, how did they get to 13? You still don't know. And it's just so yeah. So I feel that. I know that feeling and it sucks. And it makes, if you don't have a strong foundation, I think this is why I feel very lucky that my mum, when I was young, she was very much into teaching me things, different things, puzzles, and she'd make paper lanterns with me. She's a great creative person, right? And so she would teach me how to add using the algorithm and then all the tricks for the times tables and things like that. So I grew up knowing that I can do math. And so then when I came to a time when there was something that I didn't understand, I knew it wasn't me. And so that belief is sort of what powered me through. Okay, I know I can do this. I just haven't found the right way, right? Yeah. Rather than, I can't do math because I suck at math. I'm no one sucks at math.
Maggie, I would just going to take an oath to say I suck at math. I'm hopeless. And,
I would take you up on that challenge.
Well, maybe we'll do a test. We can do a test. But when I went to school, we had a rock tablet and a hammer and chisel to do all our work because it was that long ago. But now there's such amazing learning technology and techniques available to people. And I think, the education of learning has come such a long way that we have probably found much easier ways to incorporate these subjects. And, you know, as somebody who is a maths me, I can tell you what, I kind of think...
A mathophobe.
No, not even... I'm not scared of maths. I'm a mathadum-dum. It's a prehistoric creature called the mathadum-dum, and I'm one of those mythical creatures. And I just figured I love times table, but I just figured I'm never going to really need to do maths. And I hated school and hopeless. What is the sum? You know, you said when you test people on their mathematical ability, because your book is for children who are like
so the
8 and 9 year old.
the question of like, so like, who's your book for? And I understand that people, you know, want like a loose age bracket. And so we've seen around like a very precocious 5-year-old or an 8-year-old who's, you know, a little bit behind, or like a very behind 12-year-old. But really, I think the best marker is asking them what's 680 plus 90.
680 plus 90?
Yeah.
I thought it was 680 plus 50.
Oh, you prepared for this? Nah. I just throw a random question. Or just like, you know, just a similar question, and then they get 3 seconds. And
770?
I can't remember. See,
680 plus 90?
What did I ask?
680 plus 90.
Yes, what is that?
770?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
It took me a second as well. I was like, panic. Because if I get it wrong, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing, and I lose all credibility. Yeah, nice. But like, so that's, I think, a good benchmark.
A measure.
Yeah.
A measure of what a skill is for a young kid to understand.
Or just for this book specifically. So it's like, for like this book specifically, because it's like, because most kids, if they don't know what 680 plus 90 is, they probably don't know what 68 plus 9 is, right? Because it's just the like added 10 will scare people, right? And so then if they don't know what 68 plus 9 is, they probably also don't know what 8 plus 9 is, because all you have to do is do the 8 plus 9, which is a 17, add the 60 on. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, it's hard to explain without like writing it on the paper.
So I'm just interrupting.
So
I'm just interrupting Maggie because there's somebody walking past our studio, and it is the lovely Murray, who has introduced me to Maggie and recommended that she come on the show. So
did you invite him?
I did not invite Murray to the show today, but and we're just taking a moment. I'm just gonna pop a song on, I think, Maggie.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and talk about your maths. What would you like to hear now?
On
your list, or should I just pick one?
Yeah, maybe you pick one.
Okay, I'm going to pick a song off your amazing list.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick 9 to 5.
Okay. Wait, is that on the menu? That was on like my question mark list. I like the ones at the top.
Okay, let's pick one at the top. So what would you like to hear now?
Let's do a fun one, like guilty pleasure fun song. Dance With Me Tonight.
Okay, Dance With Me Tonight. This is Ollie Murs, and you know, I am just interrupting our wonderful conversation because we've just found somebody walking down the street who I think we'd like to invite into the studio, who may or may not say hello. So this
might be a bit shy.
Me Tonight, Ollie Murs.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a special treat for you tonight. I'm gonna call my friend Ollie up here to sing to you ladies. Ollie, let's go, man.
My name is Ollie, nice to meet you. Can I tell you, baby? Look around, there's a whole lot of pretty ladies, but none like you. You shine so bright. Yeah. I was wondering if you and me could spend a minute on the floor up close, getting lost in it. I won't give up without a fight. I just wanna, oh baby, I just want you to dance with me tonight. So come on, oh baby, I just want you to dance with me tonight. We're getting sweaty, hot and heavy in the ground now. And loosen up and let your hands go down, down. But go with it, girl, yeah, just close your eyes. on now.
Welcome back to the Joy Temple program. My name is Janie. I am with my beautiful guest, Maggie, and we have just had like a major diversion on the show, which I think is fantastic because I talked about the trade school kitchen coffee shop, and one of the regulars who goes to the coffee shop is a gentleman called Murray, and I have actually asked Murray to come on the radio at one point, and he's still deciding, but maybe today will be the turning point where he goes, yeah, I'm going to come and talk to you, Janie. But Murray, we saw you out the window. We were like so excited because you were the one who introduced me to Maggie. And obviously I think you knew that she had a story that might be perfect for the radio, which it is today. So how did you two meet each other? Who's gonna tell the story?
Maggie has many stories.
I know. I
do
love
indeed.
them.
I
love
love
them.
them.
Okay, well, get your mic a bit closer.
Murray looks really terrified.
Yeah,
it's intimidating.
First time on radio,
I've
Murray?
never seen Murray
yes.
so uncomfortable.
Like I say, it's just you and me and Maggie and the rest of the world.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's not. Maggie came along to the rock and roll club that I belonged to.
The Rock and Robins?
No.
A different one.
Hutt Valley back in the
my
day.
previous life under the Hutt Valley Rock and Roll Club. Had been there for a long time as part of the lesson system that we run regularly. And Maggie came along with some friends.
I think it was my mum. I think my mum was the first person to like drag me along.
Was that before your accident, Maggie?
Yeah.
A long time before that.
Yeah.
Yes, long time. So she was keen to have some lessons, but she came along with a partner to one of them who already knew a bit about what he was doing, didn't he?
The first one, right? We're talking about the first one. Yeah. But then I broke up with that one, and then I just remember sitting at the lessons. Oh, Murray, poor Murray. We're just sitting by the door, and I'd be like, Murray, find me a boyfriend who can dance, please.
Oh, so Murray.
And that went for ages, and he's
Murray's the matchmaker of radio shows and the matchmaker of love. Is that correct?
Rock and roll, maybe. No. Oh, my gosh. What have I let myself in for? Yes, Maggie came along and she wanted the lessons, so we put her into the lessons, and she flourished very quickly and went very well. Great style.
Oh, thank you.
Not a lot of clothes, but great style.
Murray has this thing where
summer.
he thinks that crop tops are like revealing and that just men can't control themselves because belly button.
Well, I used to do Latin dancing when I was in Melbourne, and when I first started Latin dancing, I would go in my jeans and you're quite covered up. But as you start to learn more skills and develop, and the weather comes in, you do wear less clothes, Murray.
Well,
I don't know about the men, but for the women, it was like I just want to, show my moves and wear the twirly skirt. So I was like all into.
It's more rigid now than it was in the 90s when I first joined up. Rock and roll and learned. It was down to shorts and singlets when it was at a proper hop.
Yeah.
And you were perspiring.
Yeah.
So a lot, drinking a lot.
Yeah. I have asked, so I have now started doing classes at the Rock and Robins dance Club, and I am loving it. I'm just loving it. And I have asked them to come on the radio, so I'm still waiting for them to pick a date, because I think there's a lot of stuff that people may not understand about rock and roll dancing, like what is a hop, what's a CCU? Like, I don't understand all this stuff. I'm just going to classes. So there's a whole like subculture there that I want to explore on the show.
One of the reasons I had put a slow down halt on what you originally asked me to come here when we were at the Trade Kitchen, I wanted to see if they wanted me to come along with them if they came along. So if they're going to accept Prezi or Vice Prezi to come down, I'll come with them at the same time. Yeah. If they wanted that, they might not.
Well, they've agreed to come on, so we'll see how that goes. I'll just give them a little push next week when I'm, doing my twirls on the dance floor. I'll spin around like, you're coming on the radio. I'll spin the other way. When are you coming on the radio? But yeah, Thursday nights at the Rock and Robins Dance Club at Waifetu. What is the name of that building it's in?
It's the Anglican Church,
I think
it is.
Church.
Yeah, but it's the hall beside the church.
Right, yeah.
That we do the lessons in.
Mm-hmm. And it's so fantastic.
Every Thursday night from 6 o'clock, there's a Zumba exercise class, warm-up class, you might call it.
Yeah.
Taken by a couple of professionals, husband and wife team who run a gym.
Yeah.
They put you through a series of different exercises, easy stuff.
Yeah.
Just to loosen some of the old bones up.
What a promo, Murray. I love it.
Some of the old bones.
You guys...
Yeah.
I want to come back to your story about your relationship that has developed over time, yeah? Because there's obviously more, it's quite maybe a deep bond between you guys, or what?
Oh, yes. I always liked the way Maggie is so, before accident, very outgoing.
Yeah.
Very easy to communicate. We always communicated well, her and I.
Yeah.
Even when she hasn't got a partner. And that's back when I was able to fully commit to dancing.
Yeah.
Until I had my problems with my spine and back, which has curtailed it to a degree for me. But Maggie was always there, partner or no partner. It was quite a while of no partner.
But you don't need a partner to go to dance.
No, you don't.
No. That's like, it's hard when you're so used to having one, especially one that was pretty good. So
because you understand that what that person's going to do when they're leading you and dancing and.
No, honestly, now it's the politics of it. Like, I can't. Because it hurts. I'm still processing. I just miss having a dance partner. Poor Murray's heard this like so many times. But it's like just watching like, your previously significant other who you like spent so much time like loving dancing with someone else. It's just like pain. It's just so much pain. But yeah,
acceptance, Maggie.
It's been a process of reclaiming dance, like for myself, which I know is what I need to do. But at the same time, I can't deny that this is like still like an emotional journey I'm still working through. But back to Murray. I remember Murray was the first person who taught me how to do a spin, like a prop. It was such a pivotal moment because I remember this so clearly because my mum had dragged me because she wanted company. I was insecure. Didn't really like dancing, didn't want to be there. And I was getting frustrated because I couldn't do what looked like a very, very simple thing. And like, they were sort of like the other teachers trying to like coach me by like showing me, like standing like in front of me. And then Murray was like, nah. And he just like took my hand and he just like pulled me into it. And I was like,
hands on.
Oh, like, it was like the type of coaching where like you feel it. It's not like you don't think about it. You just like feel it. And then I was like, oh, I get it. So I think actually that interaction or like you teaching me that like one spin was what made me want to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And that's true, I think, with any form of anything we do, there is always that fear, right, of doing something. And, and I believe you have to do something 3 times before you actually decide whether you want to do it. Like once to try it out, twice because you're so fearful, right? Twice because I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to go back and have another go. And then the 3rd time, right, I've overcome the fear. I've had another go. And now this time I'm going to go back and really just see whether my heart's in it. So your heart fell into the dancing and you loved it and continued it. But you're doing different dancing now. Is that correct?
Yeah. I've swapped to modern jive.
Is it very different to rock and roll?
Pretty different, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
but still good fun. And Murray's not happy about that, is he? Murray, because I took a hiatus from rock and roll for a bit. Oh, I think, it was COVID because, like COVID shut down everything.
Yes.
And then I think, because I still had the trophy from last year.
Your competition
Yeah,
you
from
won,
the
yes.
last competition.
Wow, Maggie.
It sounds fancy. It wasn't really.
Her and one partner
Yeah.
won a competition,
and-
CCU,
And then
What is the CCU?
just Capital City
Capital
United.
City United, and it's all the clubs of the Wellington region,
Right.
and there's quite a few of us, get together on a particular Saturday night and run a all-up competition. And it's all just couples dancing, all ages, grades, even down to same sex,
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah.
And
All
also,
for the love of dance.
well, oh yes, it's a full-on night,
Yeah.
and that's only a couple of weeks away.
I've
The
got
next one.
I've got a friend who I met. So I meet lots of people on social media, and especially through this Facebook group I'm in. And his name is Robert. Now, apparently, Robert was a rock and roll dancer. I think they live a bit further up, maybe towards Palmy or somewhere like that. He was a rock and roll dancer and a judge and did a lot of judging around rock and roll
He
competitions.
must have been good. You can tell when
I'm
the
kind of
judge
going to
is
say
dancing.
Robert Waru Fox or something like that. And my friend, her name is Shona, she said that everybody will know him because he has been a...
Maori guy?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Robert Roper. No.
I'd have to find out, but she's been following along my dancing journey over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, so her husband was very much into the rock and roll scene and was a judge in a lot of competitions for rock and roll dancing. So there's a big network of people out there who probably are all connected and know each other in some beautiful way.
The longer you're around it, the more you find out.
Yeah,
and the more you know.
Yeah, that's true.
course.
Now, while we're talking about exercise, I want to come back to you, Maggie, because you've written your book, which is, well, I want you to be able to tell us where people can get your book, right, first of all. But also, what are you doing now that is having a great impact on your life? Like, what is the turning point for you that you're now obviously not doing university anymore? What are you doing now that is bringing you, purpose and joy through your, probably still an ongoing recovery, do you think?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Like my main goal at the moment is to recover. Yeah. So first to get a copy of the book, we have it online on our website, PY Waka Press. I think it's .com. I really should have looked at this. But if you Google PY Waka Press, it will come up.
Okay, yeah.
And then also we have a few copies at the Undercurrent on Tory Street in Wellington. It's my favourite bookshop. They're technically a secondhand bookshop, but they do sell our books. They're new, and it is just like the coziest place. Highly recommend you check them out.
Undercurrent.
Yeah, the Undercurrent on something rather Tory Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great, because I'll put all this on the socials, and my socials are the Joy Temple on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So everything will, pop up there later on today about the show. So the book for basically anyone who struggles with maths,
who can't answer 680 plus 90 comfortably.
Murray, can you answer that? 680 plus 90. You've got 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, go.
Maybe it doesn't help to put pressure on them. You kind of just casually be like, "Hey, Murray, what's 680 plus 90?
680? No,
Plus 90.
780.
Someone needs my book.
No, there is pressure.
I know it is scary.
like maths.
Yeah. And as I was saying to Maggie, I was useless at maths at high school, and I try to really force myself to do old school addition, like writing down all the numbers, multiplying. I want to keep that skill alive because I think it's really good for your brain to be able to do some of those things. Not that heavy algebra stuff, but just to be able to do the basic adding up, division, subtraction and times table. It's really important for our functionality. So people can buy the book online or at this particular bookshop, and it's for anyone who is wanting to learn the foundations of mathematics, right?
Addition specifically.
Addition specifically.
Yeah,
Now,
basic addition.
There's a second book coming up. When is it coming out, Maggie?
Oh, that's a good question. So we haven't put a date on it yet, but I'd say in a few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's it going to be called?
So that one is just Making Maths That Up, book 2. And
Plus 2. Making Maths That Up, plus 2.
part 2.
Yeah.
And this one focuses more on nuances of the equal sign. So it's like a very niche thing, but that will come in very useful later because a lot of people will do like run-on equations and things like that. So just a crash course on the equal sign, which will make sense once you see it. And then also what you were talking about before, like algorithms. It's crazy to me. It leads up to algorithms, I should say. So it teaches how kids are taught now with place value and all that. And then it goes into the different strategies and explains why they work. So one's like rounding and compensating and rounding to tidy numbers and all that kind of thing. But then ultimately it leads up to algorithms, which I think is the main benefit of the second one because I don't know why, but they don't teach it at schools anymore, which I find strange. And the argument, I guess, is that it doesn't teach what's like going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I think there should be both, that you teach the place value strategy so the kids understand what's going on. But then once you know what's going on, you should take the shortcut because it saves time and that's not going to take away from your understanding of
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a great, I so stand by that motto.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a second book coming out. It's in progress, which is fantastic. Now, Maggie, what are you doing now? What is your day to day? We don't have a lot of time left on our show, and it's we've gone
briefly, like little teaser.
We've gone on a beautiful journey today, and I'll be absolutely delighted to have you come back and share more with us.
So
because
love to.
I think there's a deep current running underneath the surface of Maggie, and there's lots of beautiful things that she can share with us for motivation and inspiration.
I can tell you what she'll be doing tonight.
What?
Coming to rock and roll with me.
You got a date, Maggie.
You wish. Wait, what is today?
Today's the 25th of...
It's Saturday. There's no dancing tonight.
Wellington Club night.
Oh, don't tell me that. No, my old life, man. Nah.
You can go in disguise as a dress up.
No.
Is it a dress up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Murray, don't do this to me. You know I want to come back. My heart can't handle it, okay?
She's not quite ready
my
yet.
heart cannot handle it.
One day.
Yeah. She's not quite ready yet. I think there's a few, her heart's not ready for it. But,
terrified.
Our heart does heal and we can find joy in the things that we used to do. It just might take a little bit of time for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let's talk about exercise.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I guess quick teaser.
Yeah.
I should have used this as my answer to your question before while I was mind blanking. But because I had nothing that I could do in the depths of my just like despair and hopelessness, I was like, I should probably get back into exercising because I was in so much pain all the time. And I thought maybe if I moved, it would help. And so then I went to a few gyms, kind of gym hopped. Some of them were like pretty good because I had a bad experience at City Fitness when I was in high school and made me never want to set foot in a gym again. But I was like, I think it's time to rekindle that. And then I found, after going to a few different places, the gym that I go to now called Pure Movement, which is opposite Harvey Norman, if you guys are local. I remember like walking in and just going, whoa. It was colorful. It had like this cool ass mural on the wall of, I think it's Dragon Ball Z. I don't watch anime, but like it was just like cool ass artwork on the wall. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And like it's such a great gym. Like we're like family oriented. Everyone's lovely. You kind of get to know people, and they're super friendly. And the quality of the coaching is just on a whole nother level. Like it is quite a bit like pricier than other gyms, but you like the value for what you. Yeah, it is just. Because the thing with exercising, it's like, people say practice makes perfect. That's not necessarily true, depending on how you practice. It's practice makes permanent, right? So if you're exercising in a less than optimal way, and then every time you do it, you're like pressing save on that movement, eventually that can like it's a tough thing to sort of say, but it can be worse than if you like never exercise in the first place. So if you're going to do it, you want to do it well.
And, you know, finding that motivation to do that when you are, like you just said, you're in the depths of despair and, you know, your life is in turmoil. Obviously, exercise has had an incredible effect on your recovery and rehabilitation.
Yeah.
And are you now helping others with exercise?
So I got my PT qualification.
Yay, Maggie.
Last year because it was so amazing. I was in so much pain and I felt so like weak, right? I couldn't do a push-up. I was like, I want to be able to do a push-up. And then like 10 weeks later, I got my push-up and now I very comfortably bang out 10 push-ups, like full body, just like, I get made fun of people like, girl push-ups. And I'm like, excuse me?
Any push-up is good. Any push-up is good.
Or just, you know, they're like 10 girl push-ups. And I'm like, just excuse you. But no, it's just been so helpful, right? Like even when I'm gardening, knowing how to lift things properly and just feeling so like, oh, I can do this effortlessly.
Yeah.
And I feel strong. Like I feel good.
Absolutely.
Good, strong.
Has a profound effect. So everybody, it's nearly 5 to 11 on this beautiful Saturday. It's almost time to wrap up the show. One of the things I always liked, and I feel like we've still got so much Maggie to talk about. I'd love you to come back. But one of the things I always like to find out about from people is what brings joy. And I'm going to ask both of you. Murray, I'm going to start with you. Murray, my show's called the Joy Temple Program. I love to feel that I bring some joy to people's life day to day. But what brings you joy? Is there something for you that really brings joy? Because it's often a hard question for people to answer or understand.
No, my one-liner at the moment.
A one-liner?
One-liner at the moment is waking up every morning.
Yeah.
Brings a lot of joy.
Oh, yeah. How old are you, Murray?
How old?
Yeah.
Year 21 plus GST and margin.
Okay, yeah.
75.
75. Oh, beautiful. And you know what? Some people don't get the gift of life. Some people don't get the gift of life, and
you're lucky. Yes.
I believe I'm very lucky and blessed. Oh, and my mum's 85, and she's the same. For her, it's just like I wake up. You know, being able to wake up every day is really beautiful. So it's lovely to be able to see the fresh dawn and have a new opportunity at life. And Maggie, for you, what brings you joy?
Oh, great question. I think.
Rock and roll.
Murray. I think having a great community, but more specifically finding amazing teachers. I think I have realized, I think that's what I'd like to take psychology into if I was to go back. Well, when I go back, I'm going to go back.
Yeah, good.
But like cultivating like great educators, so like teachers, but in like all areas of life, right? Like the hobbies that I've gotten into as like a side thing, like soft acrobatics or like roller skating. And I've met people who are so inspiring and they make you feel like you can do it and a whole world like opens up. And that's what life's for, right? Like exploring your passions and being curious and then knowing that even if you don't get it the first time, there's always someone who can help you get there. Yeah.
Keep going back. And this is a conversation I had with my mentee yesterday about finding things to do, having experiences in life that bring you joy and passion and pleasure. It's really, really important. Now, we're going to play one last song and we're going to close the show down for today. It's been really a joyous show and I want to thank everybody for listening in. I want to thank all the wonderful sponsors of Hutt Radio, Your Voice in the Valley. I feel privileged to be able to have a Saturday morning spot when I can come and share joy with people. Thanks to our other presenters who also run our fantastic shows live here from the studio. What song would you like to play to wrap up today, Maggie?
Did you have Animal Spirits? It's not in the like top ones, but did you?
Animal Spirits.
Yes,
I do.
Oh,
I do have this. Tell us about this song.
It's just like, when I hear it, I don't know, it's just like, yay!
It's like a spirit animal.
That's all. I don't know how to explain it. you kind of like, you'll hear it and I guess you'll understand.
Okay, so this is Animal Spirits by wolf pack.
Yes.
Thank you, Murray, for wandering
Popping
by
in.
and coming in. It's been really lovely to have you, and I'd love to see you back on the show as well, because we need some gardening tips. We need some Murray tonight. And thank you so much, Maggie. It's been an absolute joy to have you here. You are motivational, inspirational, joyous, and I hope your story today has inspired other people to know that, tragedy can turn into triumph, and all hope is not lost. There is always a way forward. So thank you both very much for being with me. Here's our final song, Animal Spirits.
This is a true love story song, a triumph and a glory song, with